Hey there everyone, it is May 1st, it's the 1st of May.
First of May.
Actually, it's the 2nd of May. And it is time for my April collection update video. You know, surprisingly a lot more than I expected this month. Again, there's a little bit of everything. Blu-rays, DVDs, CDs, and video games and stuff. Something really special. We'll finish with video games, definitely. But we'll do Blu-rays and DVDs first. A lot more movies than I was expecting to get this month. But, you know, that's always how it is. We will start with some Blu-rays that I didn't intend to buy at all. Especially this last one. But anyway, starting off, probably one of the more controversial films I actually own, because I'm not too big on movies that are, I don't know what I'm saying anymore, but it's a controversial movie, sort of, and it's Tropic Thunder. I mean, compared to a lot of movie controversies, this probably isn't, you know, near the top. I don't know, I'm not a big movie person, I just watch them a lot. So, Tropic Thunder, it's got Ben Stiller, Jack Black, and Robert Downey Jr. This is the director's cut version of it. The reason this movie was so controversial is because of the character that Robert Downey Jr. plays. He plays, and this is not really spoiling plot, he plays an Australian actor who has won 5 Academy Awards, so he's considered one of the best actors in the world, always does what it takes to get the part. So basically, for some reason, he wants the part in this movie so bad that he gets like a pigment augmentation to make himself dark-skinned. So essentially, the character is, I wouldn't even say he's in the stereotypical like blackface, but he's got darkened skin, so I guess it could be taken as racist. But if you watch the movie, it's, I don't want to justify a guy in doing that, but I don't know, because they like acknowledge that it's messed up, that it's like that. They like, throughout the movie, they acknowledge that the way that isn't okay. And I'm not saying that it makes the fact that it's like that okay. But anyway, it's a good movie. I enjoyed it. I'm not going to say I didn't enjoy the movie. Like, because it was absolutely hilarious. Jack Black was hilarious. Ben Stiller was funny. I liked it a lot. Good movie. If you're into controversial movies, or if just to really want to laugh your ass off, go ahead and watch this movie. It's pretty good. Next up, we have a movie that I've been waiting a while to buy, and it's the last movie in the, I guess you could call it the Cornetto Ice Cream trilogy, with Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. This is The World's End. I actually saw this movie in theaters, enjoyed it a lot. I mean, I love Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. This one has Martin Freeman from Sherlock and the Hobbit movies. He's over here, I'm sorry, I pointed at the wrong person. And then a few other people, but it's a really, really enjoyable movie. It's basically about a group of friends. It's basically about a pub crawl kind of thing. And it gets kind of ridiculous. But it's a really, really good movie. I enjoy it. Don't want to ruin too much about it, but it's a really, really funny movie. I enjoyed it a lot. But I need to watch it again because it's been quite a while since I've seen it. So, yeah, it's a good movie though. Yeah, World's End. Alright, moving on. Another movie I saw in theaters. It's a little bit different though. This is X-Men Days of Futures Past. This is the Rogue cut, which is basically the entire movie with more Rogue in it. Or with Rogue in it, because she only shows up at the end of the movie. I don't know why this wasn't in the original movie, but I saw the original Days of Futures Past in theaters. And this was really cheap, so I bought it. I really enjoyed this movie. For an X-Men movie, it has a lot less action scenes than the other ones, but I still really, really enjoyed this movie because it has like past and future, or past and present X-Men characters, so like both versions of Professor X and Magneto. Really good. Can't wait to watch this one again too, because I enjoyed this movie seeing it in theaters. Then we go on to the last Blu-ray. This is a movie I was not expecting to buy, but I actually saw my little brother in a elementary school play about this, and they did some of the songs from it, and I realized how much I loved this movie as a kid, the original. So I bought it for really cheap, and I can't wait to watch this. And yeah, here we go. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Gene Wilder. They're like, what else do you say? Absolutely, this is an all-time classic in my book. It really is. I mean, Gene Wilder, and like, he's the only one who did anything after this. No, I'm not. I don't know. I actually don't know that. But I really, really enjoyed this movie as a kid, and I cannot wait to watch this. Tropic Thunder is actually the only movie here that I've watched. I'm lazy. But, yeah, cannot wait to watch this again either, because it's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and the Oompa Loompas. And, yeah, you can never go wrong with that, so, yeah. Then we go on to 2 DVDs, and they are Robin Williams movies, so I figured I could put them together here. They're a little bit less known movies, like I hadn't necessarily even heard of them, but they looked interesting, specifically. We have Cadillac Man with Tim Robbins as well, and Seize the Day. Now, I'm just going to read the back because I know nothing about these movies. Basically, he plays a car salesman in this one. And then Seize the Day is a salesman. Interesting. So, I guess he plays the Hey, Jerry Stiller's in this movie. But, 2 lesser-known movies in his career. You know, still pretty cool to have them, and eventually I'll watch them. I still need to get back to watching my movies again, because I still have a huge stack over here that I need to watch, but I will get to it. And plus, there's only a few Robin Williams movies left for me to buy, and I'm done. Hopefully I can have that done, you know, by August, which will be 2 years since he passed away. That's my goal, and I'm hoping I can actually do that. There's still a couple things of his that I need to get, but we'll see them here because they're on the list. Eventually, we'll see them in one of these videos. So yeah, there we go, Robin Williams. That's it for DVDs and Blu-rays. We will move on to CDs. This month, there are 8 CDs here. 2 of them are 2 disc albums. Well, technically 3 of them now that I think about it. I've kind of been picking up the pace when it comes to CDs because I'm going to Atlanta. All 8 of these are from Prog Power bands. And actually, with these CDs you see here, I have gotten 2 CDs from every band, working on 3. That should be completed by the end of next month, actually, because of what I just did. But we'll go ahead and get started here. We will start off with the Saturday opener. The very first band on Saturday. This is Savage Messiah. This is their second album, Plague of Conscience. I kind of like the undead Pope figure holding the earth here. I just really like that. I'm not 100% sure why I bought this album, because I didn't really like their newest album. I mean, I did. It was alright. The music was good. There were a couple good songs. But otherwise, I wasn't all that impressed. I can say that I liked this album a little bit more. We'll flip it over. You got the songs here. Carnival of Souls was good. Beyond a Shadow of a Doubt was good. That's all I remember. Unfortunately, for some reason, my copy had this weird barcode thing. But the CD's pretty good. I mean, there are some songs I enjoy of theirs, so I will probably enjoy them in September. But we'll see. Yeah. Moving on to some more heavy stuff. We have the Wednesday night opener. That being Lorde. This is their 3rd album, Set in Stone. I actually like these guys quite a bit. I really liked their most recent album, Digital Lies. I might actually like this one a little bit better. But there's this weird thing. The singer has a really good voice, but then every so often he'll do a couple songs on a CD where he almost death screams or something like that, or like kind of I sound like Donald Duck. Sorry. he does like this weird, like he's trying to scream, but he can't. I don't know how to explain it. But really good band. Let's flip it over. Let's see. 100 Reasons was good. Set in Stone was pretty good. Someone Else's Dream was good. End of Days. New Horizons was pretty good. But yeah, really liked this album. I'm actually really excited for these guys Wednesday night, because it gives me something to kind of look forward to on Wednesday night, because I wasn't too impressed with Wednesday night until this month, and we'll get to that later. But really good album. Unfortunately, it's got a crack right here. More of that coming later, actually. But hey, you know what? Good album. And I like the little... That's a gargoyle. I just realized that. I didn't even bother looking at the album cover. That's great. Anyway, moving on. We have a band from, I want to say Friday. It's right in the middle of the album. They are right in the middle of the running order. They aren't even playing this album because they're doing the other album of theirs in its entirety. Unless they finish it early, maybe they'll do some other stuff. But this is Green Carnation, and they're... I don't believe this is their newest album, because they haven't made an album in like 10 years. But, because they just reunited and they're doing... I think this is the album before the acoustic album that I'm going to get eventually. But this is their, I guess, second newest, if you want to call it that, The Quiet Offspring. Pretty good album. I actually... It's really hard to compare this one to their other album of theirs that I have, Light of Day, Day of Darkness, because Light of Day is one song on the entire CD that's over an hour long, and this is an actual CD with like, what, 3, 6, 9, 11 tracks, I think? I counted that real quick, I'm probably wrong. But it's really hard to compare a CD with one song and a CD with more than one song. I don't know, but I would say that as a whole, I probably like this album more because it was more than one song. A little bit different, has the same singer and everything. Quiet Offspring was pretty good. A Place for Me, Purple Door, Pitch Black was pretty good. Pile of Doubt, but pretty good. I'm gonna buy more of these guys because they're just interesting. They're like borderline psychedelic, so it's really cool. But yeah, really pretty good album. Yeah, can't wait to see these guys either, because it's just, I don't know, it's a band playing an hour-long song. Like, that's gonna take some stamina. Moving on to one of my top bands for the entire festival. I mean, at least after I heard their most recent album. It's Pyramaze. This is their second album, Legend of the Bone Carver. It's actually a concept album. The best way to explain it is like it's a futuristic world or a post-apocalyptic world. Or it's hard to explain, but I really like this album. To me, this, I almost want to say, I don't want to say album of the month, but pretty close, because at least the next 3 albums could be tied there for me. But I really like this album. Definitely, I want to say probably my second favorite, next to Disciples of the Sun, the newest one. I like Matt Barlow, and I liked Immortal, but I think I like this one a little bit better. I love the artwork, though. The singer, it's a different singer from the other 2 albums of theirs I have, and he's really good. I like his voice. Really, Lance King, he actually owns the record company that released these now, Nightmare Records. The only CD of theirs I don't have is their first one, and it's a little bit harder to find, so if I don't get it before I go to Atlanta, I'm hoping I can get it there. That's what I'm hoping. So, yeah, really good album. Let's go to the tracks. The Birth, Souls in Pain, She Is Summoned Me, Bone Carver, Blood Red Skies. Yeah, there's a lot of really good songs on here. Really good album. I would definitely suggest these guys, definitely, very much. I don't even know if that's a word. Then we move on to, not an album, it's technically classified as an EP. It's over half an hour long, I'll explain in a second. It's technically the second EP I have. I forgot, I thought it was the only EP I had until I realized I have Dream Theater's A Change of Seasons, and that's classified as an EP. So technically my second EP, and it was one I was really looking forward to getting. These guys actually just put out a new album yesterday. Not yesterday, 2 days ago, sorry. That being Haken, my #1 new band from the entire festival, not counting bands I'd heard of. Haken, I mean I had heard of them ahead of time, but I hadn't listened to them. This is their EP, Restoration. Comes between The Mountain, which I loved, and Affinity, the new album they just put out 2 days ago. Like I said, this is probably up there for album of the month for me too. Darkest Light, there's 3 songs, and it's 34 minutes and 5 seconds, sorry. Darkest Light was good, Earthlings was alright, and then Crystallized here, fantastic song, but it's 19.5 minutes long. But it's really, really good. And I have to say I loved The Mountain, and I love this, and if they keep going in the direction they did for these two, and Affinity's anywhere in that kind of book, and from what I'm reading it sounds like they are, it sounds like it is, these guys are going to be one of my favorite bands here soon. This was such a great album, or EP really, plus it's got a naked chick. I'm probably going to get banned from YouTube. But anyway, Restoration, great EP, CD, whatever. This is the other one with a crack on it. It showed up like that in the mail. I'm not exactly pleased with that, but whatever, it is what it is. But yes, very, very good music. I enjoyed it a lot. Haken is awesome. Go check them out. I definitely prefer this and The Mountain. I got Visions and was sort of disappointed by it other than the title track. So I feel like they're moving in the right direction, I guess. Well, not even just moving in the right direction. They just went in the right direction, made an amazing album, made this, and then hopefully Affinity's in the same boat. I can't wait to find out. Anyway, moving on. I got too excited there. Moving on to my surprise of the month, definitely. It is a band, when I got their first album, I wasn't too impressed by it because it's so progressive. And it's prog rock. It's like the only progressive rock band that's playing there. But they're on Wednesday night as well. But definitely my surprise of the month. This is Spock's Beard, their second most recent album, Brief Nocturnes and Dreamless Sleep. Wow, was I impressed by this one. Their most recent one, The Oblivion Particle, I don't know what it was about that, but I just could not get into it. This one, on the other hand, oh my god. So good. It was really, really good. There's still a couple albums of theirs I really want to get, like Snow, which is like their most critically acclaimed album, but it's kind of hard to find. So if I don't get it before September, hopefully they'll have Snow in Atlanta if I don't have it by then. But really, really good. Good progressive rock. If you like prog rock, definitely check these guys out because you will like them. Let's go here. Look at the songs. Hiding Out was good. Treasure Abandoned. Afterthoughts, Waiting for Me. Then this Wish I Were Here is just a weird song. This is one of the 2 discs ones. It's got like a bonus disc. I don't know why, but it was good. I enjoyed this album a lot. I'd even put it up there and say it's one of my favorite albums of the month. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I can't wait to hear more of these guys. And I'm actually pretty excited for them in Atlanta now, which is good, because I won't be completely bored when I'm on Wednesday night. I mean, I got Lord and these guys. I mean, I guess Dragon Force will be kind of entertaining, because they're really good showmen. So, but moving on to one of my favorite bands. I bought this album way later than I wanted to. I really wish I had just pre-ordered this album because of how much I love this band, and what I saw was a part of this album. But I didn't because I had to go to Seattle. I waited. Part of me is glad I waited because it's a really good album. I wouldn't say it's quite as good as their previous, but it's definitely probably my second favorite. Circus Maximus. It's their new album, Havoc. This is the 2-disc version. It's black. There's a little lotus, I don't know what that is, but this is the special edition 2 CD. But now a lot of people were kind of worried about this, and I was at first when I heard the first couple songs. The first song grew on me, and the most recent one they released grew on me. The title track, Havoc, is garbage. It sounds like Marilyn Manson. People were right. It's really not a good song. It's definitely probably one of the worst songs they've ever made. I don't like saying that because they're my favorite band. But otherwise, and this is going to be really hard to see because everything's really, you know, The Wait was their first single released, but it's still really good. Highest Bidder was good. Havoc is garbage. Pages and Flames are good. Loved Ones, definitely the song on the album. It feels like a sequel to Last Goodbye, and that's one of my favorite songs ever. After the Fire, remember, Chivalry is really good. Loathe is alright. Chivalry is another really good one. And then the second disc is the entire Live in Japan concert that they did, that they released on YouTube for free. So we got, you know, Forging, Namaste, and The One from 9, Arrival of Love and Abyss from Isolate, Live from the first chapter, and then Game of Life and Last Goodbye, which is one of my favorite songs off of 9. 9 is one of my favorite albums. This is definitely a close second for this band, I would say. A lot of people like their earlier stuff, and I like Isolate, don't get me wrong. First chapter does kind of feel like Dream Theater, and a lot of people always said that. But I really like what they did with 9. I think that's one of the best albums I've ever heard, and I like this album a lot too. So I can't be too unhappy about it. But yeah, really happy to have this. Circus Maximus, I cannot wait to see these guys Thursday night in Atlanta. I'm gonna get their autographs and everything. I need a picture. I need this in my life. I regret not doing it the first year I went, because they're the reason they blew me away when I first saw them. Okay, the final CD. And for some reason I organized these in what I think is the most in popularity. I'm probably horribly wrong. But this is kind of, I wouldn't say one of the pioneers of the progressive metal genre, but they're definitely, yeah, I actually would put them up there. Them, Dream Theater, and Queensryche. That being Fate's Warning. Now, this is their most recent album that they've released. It's like 3 years old now. Darkness in a Different Light. They are coming out with a new one in July or June. One of those 2 months. They're coming out with a new one, which I am excited for. Now, if you remember, I actually waited a long time to buy another Fate's Warning, because I got the one they're playing in Atlanta with their original singer. I got Awaken the Guardian, and I honestly just couldn't, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. And I was really worried, but they have a different singer now, and they've had a different singer since like the late 80s. I was a little worried, but I listened to this one, and it impressed me a lot. I really enjoyed it. I like Ray Alder a lot more than John Arch. I'm sorry if you're more of a fan of Arch. It's my personal opinion. But I really like this album. Can't wait for the new one. Can't wait to work my way back to his first album with the band. But really good album. This didn't quite make it to Album of the Month because of the Circus Maximus, Spock's Beard, Haken, and Pyramids. Like, if I hadn't had 4 solid other CDs, this would be definitely up there for me. But this is also 2 discs. So we'll go ahead and show you the tracks. 1000 Fire is good. Firefly is alright. Desire, Falling, I Am. There's a lot of really good ones. Oh, Chloroform, And Yet It Moves is good. And Yet It Moves is pretty good. And Falling, now, Falling is just this like minute-long song or something on the album. On the bonus disc, there's a song called Falling Further, which is Falling, but with like full rock instead of just like acoustic stuff, and it's a lot longer and it's better. And then there's some live songs, and then an extended version of Firefly, which is another really good song, right? Yeah, that one is too. But really, really good album. I enjoyed this one a lot too. I cannot wait to hear more of them. Can't wait for the new album too. But that's it for CDs. We move on to the final section, video games, and I have something special at the end. Technically all of it's special, and I don't know why I'm starting with this, but I actually got an Amiibo this month. I wasn't expecting to get any Amiibo anytime soon until like the Kirby's came out, the new Kirby's. But I follow this like Amiibo Twitter thing that tells when certain really hard to find Amiibos are available. And I was able to basically buy this and have it sent to the Best Buy near me. I don't know how hard to find it is anymore. And I mean, I know it's not the gold one, but it is the silver Mario. So I'm really happy to have this. I wasn't entirely planning on getting any of the painted Marios, but I mean, they were hard to find, and for some reason I have a problem when it comes to amiibos, because there's way too many up on my shelf now. There really are. But really happy to have this. He looks really good. Yeah, what else can you say? Yeah, Mario. Then moving on to probably the big thing of the month, and one of the bigger purchases I've made in quite some time. Believe it or not, I got a new console. And it's one I've been wanting for quite some time. Let's go ahead and zoom out all the way. I got a PS4. You can't really tell. Let's go ahead and turn it. I got a PS4. And the controller. Basically, this whole thing started, I got this around the beginning of the month. This whole thing started because my neighbor had been planning on selling his PS4, and he'd been talking about it for months. And then finally I just caved and said he was thinking about $200, and I'm like, dude, I have the $200 in cash. And then he's like, oh, I'm not selling it right now. And even his wife, girlfriend, I don't know if they're married, he's like, she said, you don't even use it. So I'm like, you know what, I'm tired of this crap. I went to GameStop, it was $50 more. I bought this. I don't really care. I got 2 games. One of them people are going to laugh at me for, but I've been watching a lot of people play it. NBA 2K16. I've been watching people stream and play it. Pretty good game. I enjoyed a lot. I wish I had more money to put down on, my team so I could get some good cards. But the other game I got was Bloodborne. Gonna be honest, haven't touched Bloodborne yet. I know it's really great and it's made by the people who made Dark Souls. My friends really like it. I'm sorry. I'm going to play it eventually. I haven't even really touched it in a little while now that I think about it. But really, really happy to have a PS4 now, because when Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, I can actually buy the thing and be able to play it. And then there's the whole Toxin 2.9 or whatever it's called. And then Uncharted 4's coming out this month. But yeah. PS4, man. I got a PS4. I finally have all the PlayStation home consoles now, until they come out with another one. I still need to get an Xbox One and a Sega Genesis, and then basically I have all the consoles I want. So, yeah, really happy to have that. Awesome. But that's it for my collection update. I will be back at the beginning of next month, because I bought a whole bunch of CDs just recently. A whole bunch, like 10 of them. Most I've bought in a long time, but due to some financial things, I'm probably, after that, not going to have very big collection updates, if at all, because there's stuff I really need to focus on. But if I might get Uncharted 4 when Kingdom Hearts comes out, and then there's always the Pokemon games that are coming out, the amiibos that I want, because they have the 4 Kirby's, and then they just announced like 4 more Splatoon. So I'm not even sure if I want. I don't know if I want to get all of them or not now, because there's too many. And then when Bayonetta comes out and when Cloud comes out, I gotta get those. Let's see, what else is there? The CDs. Got a lot of CDs coming. Yeah, that's about it now that I think about it. That I can think of off the top of my head right now. There might be some Robin... I only have like 3 or 4 Robin Williams things left to get, so there might be some here in the future, but I'm not sure. But yeah, that's it for my collection update. Have a good May. I'll see you in the summer. Later.